Hi there everyone, hope you've all had a good weekend and welcome back to a new weekly outlook video. So as always we are going to be breaking down dollar index, yen basket, Bitcoin and also oil. So we might also go over gold and just some obviously of the commodities. Firstly though, what we'll do, we will look at the economic calendar for the week ahead, see if there are any high impact events that we need to keep an eye on. Maybe avoid, manage open trades or even pending trades when we are obviously expecting the data to be released. I'm going to make this obviously short and sweet. You don't want to hear me blabber on. You want to obviously get straight into it. So Monday, we don't have much at all. I personally don't really trade overnight stuff. So the retail sales for the New Zealand dollar isn't really going to affect my trading. There's a speech at 5:15 UK time, obviously from Bailey. But usually for me and from my experience, there might be the odd comment which moves the market from a speech, but 90% of the time it's not something to worry about. These S&P Global, the PMI, that is something that could potentially move the market, obviously between the hours of 8 a.m. and 9:30 or even 10, I'd probably say to be careful on Tuesday. Potentially some added volume into the market just over the euro and the pound pairs. But once again, it's not a massive headline, which is going to hopefully move the market hundreds of pips. However, going into Wednesday morning, there is the New Zealand dollar interest rate. This will definitely move Australian dollar and New Zealand pairs. So Wednesday morning, if you are obviously trading the overnight session or the Asian session, please do be careful with that. Me personally, I will stay well away from the New Zealand dollar on Australian dollar. On interest rate days, I will usually not trade the New Zealand dollar in this situation until the Thursday, just because you can see some later comments made, which then people do price in for the next interest rate. So that's the biggest thing for Wednesday. There's the US interest rate minutes at 7 o'clock on Wednesday as well. Definitely avoiding US dollar following that because that will most likely move the market. The minutes just basically breaks down what has been said in the prior meeting. So obviously this helps investors kind of get a tone and try read what the next interest rate is going to be, because of course the market is always pricing in the next data release, and that's what the minutes usually are used for. GDP on the Thursday for the US dollar and the retail sales at 1:30 for the CAD. Not something that's really going to be of big issue unless you are trading the lower time frames. And retail sales Australian dollar overnight, once again, nothing too much to worry about there. So that's the high impact releases. I would advise at the start of every week going over the economic calendar and just having a look what is what. Let's however go break down some of the pairs. So the first pair I'm going to go over is the DXY, or the US dollar strength indicator. So with this, you can use this if you look at previous videos. I will link it below, how you can use the DXY to find trades. However, I am saying if price comes up to the 103.55 region, I'm expecting the US dollar to get weak. If price then can make it up to the 103.82, I'm expecting the dollar to get weak. And once again, if price can get here, I'm expecting the dollar to get weak at 104.10. Now, with these, it's not a given, and this is just basically to use for confluence. So if the market can get up here, I would expect to maybe try start finding trades long on AU, GU, EU, etc. If you are obviously a few weeks into these videos, you will know what I mean by that. Basically, if price can get to these areas and we expect the US dollar to get weak, we can then look for long positions on and basically sell the dollar. So we could buy the pound against the dollar, we could buy the euro against the dollar, and stuff like that. So that is the DXY broken down. I'm not really looking for many long positions based off what I can see. Obviously, if price does come down to these type of areas here at the low and maybe here, you could expect movement. However, in terms of areas with actual confluence, I would say you're best off just looking at these areas here for obviously your buys and sells on the US dollar. So that's the US dollar broken down very simply. Going on to oil, if you did watch last week's weekly outlook video, we did call an area there, and also we did call an area here. If you did take this area, you would have made some really nice profit. Even if your position looked something like that, maybe with your stop below this low, even then, if you're in the trade, you'd have got a nice 5-1. But how you entered the trade is completely down to you. So I'll get rid of them, but that's just evidence that obviously these weekly outlook videos are accurate, they are helpful, and I'm not just doing this for the fun of it, guys. It's obviously to help you hopefully make some money over the week. So for oil this week, these areas are quite close together, but that's just basically how it is. I'll quickly break down why it is. We've basically got these fib levels alongside other confluences, but I'm not going to go into that. If you are interested in more in-depth analysis with the pairs that we're going over here, there will be the link to the DVS channel in the bio. You can see all the trade ideas, all the analysis, all the education in one place. As well, while I'm on the topic of the DVS, there will also be a link to the giveaway. If you did miss the last video, there is going to be a giveaway. So if you comment on the post on the DVS FX Instagram, you like it and also share it to your story, you will be added into a draw at the end of May where you can win 3 months free subscription to the group. So that's worth about £165 over the course of 3 months, and as well 50% off the website if you do want to book any one-to-ones with myself or Jack. So that's something, and it's free as well. So if obviously you are at this point of the video, you can enter that giveaway for a chance to win some free subscriptions. So going over what we've just said, if price can get to these areas here, I would expect oil to have a reaction. Obviously, fundamentally, something could happen. This is just based off technical analysis. So don't obviously think no matter what happens, these areas are going to work. If something happens, for example, with Russia or OPEC, anything like that, then obviously we could see some sharp moves. But we can't predict that until they potentially happen. So just based off technical analysis, oil 107.67, 106.85 and 106.12. What I'd probably advise doing, guys, is maybe going on your trading view and drawing these areas, and even if you're not taking the trade, you can look how they have developed over the week, and then just see at the end of the week how many of these zones actually did work. So going on to Bitcoin, let's have a look. So my areas on Bitcoin are as followed, slightly different from last week, but still the same principle. So 28.330 is going to be an area I'm interested in. Can even round that to 350 if you really want, just have a bit more of a round number. But that is the first area I'm interested in for longs. You can see, if I just get rid of that, you can see if price does actually come back to these areas, it's tricky because these here were close misses. So you might see a reaction at the lower part of the zone rather than the upper, but obviously you do that based on your own analysis. So that's the first one, 28.350. Expecting price to go long from there. However, probably a really good position, in my opinion, would be the 27,600 area, because you're getting in lower down. You're obviously using this area of liquidity here. So for me, potentially, this is going to be a good area to potentially go long off. So we've got 28,350, 27,600, and hopefully from that you can basically just see there's other confluences as well, but it's mainly just the 50 fib, the 61 fib. You can see here the 38 fib did work on the retest, so we have good confluence and good reason to think that the 50 and the 61 will work. As well, if we're looking for shorts, 32,600 looks like a good area. If you want to be in a bit earlier on the round number, 32,500 could be a good position to take. Obviously, crypto at the minute, a bit all over the place. However, since the huge drop over a couple of weeks ago, we have pretty much been ranging on Bitcoin. So obviously if price can break out of this range, you're looking at the lower area of the range being at about 28,500, give or take. And you've mainly got this area here that's in a range. This obviously was a fake out. People would have been buying at this level here for the break and retest, slam straight back in, grab some liquidity, and then obviously the market is now back trapped in this range. So be careful if you are trying to buy the break and retest of the range. I'll keep these two areas on. But yeah, for me, 28,350, 27,600 for longs, and then 32,500 for shorts. So that is that. In terms of the JPY basket though, there's not much, I'll be completely honest. Last week, if you watched the YouTube video, you will have seen that this area did actually work for the yen. But following that now, I don't have any areas that I'm interested in. So you can see if we look at the fibs, the 38's already been filled, the 50's already been filled, and the 61's already been filled. So for that reason, that is then a write-off for me. And then if we look for buys, we can see 38 was already filled, 50's already been filled, and 61 has already been filled. So for that reason, again, all areas have been filled on the yen basket. So for now, I'm not interested in that. If you do go to the community section of the YouTube channel, I may post an updated one throughout the week. But for now, JPY index is not something that I am looking at. So just to clarify everything, these are the DXY areas. Pause the video if you do want to draw them up on your own trading view. These are the three. Oil, these are the three long areas that could potentially play out. Once again, pause the video and draw them up if you want to see them play out over the week. Bitcoin, we have the 28,350, 27,600, and the 32,500. So if you do want to see them play out. And the JPY basket, every area has already been filled. So for that reason, I'm not interested yet. So that is pretty much everything, guys. Once again, there is going to be a giveaway. And what I'll do, I will quickly get up the post now. So this is the post now. If you click the link in the bio of this video, it will take you to this page. So for a chance to win, 3 months free subscription to the group and 50% off any purchase, follow myself and Jack, share this post to your story and tag us, and tag 3 friends in the comments. So you can see currently it is the 22nd of May. So in a week and 2 days, on the Tuesday, we will go live on Instagram. We will put all comments into a random generator. And then following that, we will basically pick a random name that the generator gives us. And then following that, one winner will get 3 months into the analysis group. So that will be in the bio, guys. Thank you very much for tuning into this video. Any questions, drop them in the comments. And we will see you on Wednesday for the new upload.